The latest episode of Behind the Bricks highlights the intense preparation for a race with special meaning at Indianapolis Motor Speedway and for its president, Doug Boles. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
There was a time when October came and the president of the track could throw it into a cool fifth gear, set the cruise control. Is this your busiest weekend outside the 500? It's got to be close.
It's really busy. And actually, you started with the IMSA race a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We got this weekend. Next weekend, we've got our Indy 8-hour. We've got the IndyCar test coming up. Kyle Larson in an IndyCar for the first time. So we're almost busier these 6 weeks than we are in May. People always ask, what do you do the rest of the year? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. BC 39, huge to you, your heart, everybody who loves dirt track racing in Indiana. The podcast this week is cool. And you think it's cool because they let you on the gear. I guess you let you on the gear. But this is an opportunity to learn how fickle these tracks really are.
It's unbelievable the science that goes into preparing the dirt surface, and you're chasing it all the time. And we only run one time a year, so it means we have to really get ahead of it on the front end. So the last 2 weeks we've been working pretty hard at it. But yeah, for me to get a chance to get out, drive the grader, the water truck, and the nice thing is they leave the keys in it, so I can go out at night after I leave the office. So it is a lot of fun. But the Driven to Save BC 39 is such a special event, and the prep is really interesting, and this has been a cool behind the bricks.
Gates are locked, though. Don't get any wise ideas out there or anything. We have to point this out because you mentioned it. You are always the most well-dressed executive in Central Indiana, but you got your dirt boots on today.
Yeah, I'm in the dirt shoes. Spent a lot of time in the mud the last couple days.
Pick them up so folks can see them.
And so I've got the dirt shoes. Probably still a little dirt.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we were out late till last night after midnight getting things cleaned up after our night last night, getting ready for tonight. So Reese and the team were out there at 8 o'clock this morning getting started again.
Let's listen and watch a little bit of the podcast.
My favorite piece of equipment from Westside Tractor is actually this grader. And you guys, if you follow me at all or follow the Speedway at all, you know that occasionally in the evenings, it's a great place for me to get out and just kind of hang out and drive around. Now, they don't want me doing the grading because that takes some real science. I can do a little bit of grading here where it doesn't matter if I screw it up. Reese can fix that for me. But let's go out and take a slow lap around this track here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Certainly no Reese O'Connor.
It's like a Zamboni for mud. Tell us what's happening today. This has been going on since, Wednesday?
Yes.
Really hits peak today.
Yeah, it hits big today. So we had a race last night. We'll have a race today, and then tomorrow is the Driven to Save BC 39. So we split the field in half, but it's a full USAC midget show tonight. It's a great way to come out and see what's going on, and then you'll get to see all that equipment out there because in between races we're prepping the track. We're putting water in the track. Over 100,000 gallons of water we put in the track this weekend.
Twice when it's dry.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And just to keep that moisture in there so the tackiness is how we want it. And the racing's fantastic. This track was built for midget racing. There's no better midget racing track in the country than the one at the Speedway.
Gates open both 4 o'clock today and tomorrow. Again, this turns into a night event, which is rare out at the track, so that's cool. We have rarely seen NASCAR Cup cars on the oval in the last few years. That's changing. I know the dirt track lover in you probably has a mixed heart because you don't want to only talk about NASCAR in such a big weekend for dirt track racing here, but let's do that. This is a seismic shift in the schedule. Why did it happen? How did it happen?
Well, obviously we went over to the road course full time in 2021. In 2020, we experimented with Xfinity, and we brought everybody over in 2021. We knew at some point in time we needed to try the oval again. They've got the new cars. It's the second year of the new cars, so next year will be the third. It's the 30th anniversary of the first Brickyard 400, which took place in 1994. Jeff Gordon won it in the number 24. So in 24, kind of makes sense to go back to the oval, give these new cars a shot. It's the Brickyard 400 that we're used to, presented by PPG, which is all about color. So we're excited about having all the color and the excitement that we're going to have with that. So it's time to try it. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll reevaluate it after, and then decide: do we stay on the oval? Do we go to the road course, or do we kind of do a combination going forward?
You've got a promoter's heart, and in that role, does NASCAR have the final say on what it wants to run, or does the track say this is what we'd like you to do here? How does that conversation happen? Because in the end, this has never been a formula that was perfect. It's always been a work in progress.
I think really it's an unbelievable collaboration. A lot of that, I think, is because Roger Penske has such a great relationship with the folks in NASCAR. We had a great relationship too, but it's better. Roger owns cars in NASCAR, owns cars in IndyCar.
Sure.
That's why we had the double header. So the communication with NASCAR has been more collaborative than it's ever been. So I think we'll sit down together and decide what's best for the sport.
I hear in your voice, though, that it will continue to be evolving, that if this doesn't work in this formula, we could revisit it again.
100%. And a lot of that will be, how do we talk to our fans? We do a post-event survey every year. Let's see how the fans think about it, see how attendance is, and then we'll make a decision for what 2025 looks
Doug
like.
Boles is the president of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, host of the Behind the Bricks podcast. You can hear it on all the social media channels through IMS, and, of course, the All Indiana Podcast Network here at Wish TV as well. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Get back to the
I got to get some dirt on these.
Exactly. Lena?